So I woke up bright and early to watch my 100th Sunday morning Western. So I've been doing the Sunday morning Western for 5 years, just shy of 5 years. My very first Sunday morning Western was July 24th, 2011, and it was John Ford's Fort Apache. And in those 5 years, I've been off and on really consistent some months and not consistent other months. Um, October, November is always tough because I do a Noir-vember film and a horror film, and it's hard to sort of fit Sunday morning Western in there if it's a day when I can only watch one film, you know. And then there was about a 20-month period where I just didn't watch a noir or the Sunday morning Western at all. I think the first 8 months of which actually it was about 4 months where I don't know why I didn't watch any. Then there was a year with women, so obviously, and then there was like the first 4 months of this year where I was just behind. But I brought it back, and I missed a few weeks in the middle there, but it's back. 5 years, 100 films. I'm gonna keep going. I forgot that this was my 100th, but I'm glad I picked what I picked because it was pretty epic. It was Raoul Walsh's They Died with Their Boots On, which is a very fictionalized account of Custer. Like, very, very fictionalized. That said, if you just don't look at it as history and just look at it as like an epic film, it's great. It's Errol Flynn, it's Olivia de Havilland, Raoul Walsh doing the Western that he does so well. You got the cavalry, you've got bad guy, Arthur Kennedy. I love Arthur Kennedy so much. You've got Hattie McDaniel just like stealing scenes left and right because that's what Hattie McDaniel does. You put her on the camera and you're not paying attention to anybody but her. She's so good. So it starts with Custer being a big flop at West Point, and they make a bunch of General Grant, or he's not General yet, but Ulysses S. Grant jokes. And then you've got like the courtship of him and the Olivia character, and then you finally eventually end up with him facing off with Crazy Horse. Crazy Horse being played by none other than a very young Anthony Quinn. So this is the Anthony Quinn weekend, apparently. This movie is 2.5 hours long. It feels it, but it's enjoyable. And if you love, like Western epics or just epics in general, you'll love this film. You just really need to take the history with a grain of salt and like realize that you're not actually learning anything from this movie. And also, like, I know I've read that, like, so they changed towards the end. They make it so that Custer is this like hero that was trying to do right by the Native Americans, but at the beginning of the film, he's just such an asshole that you're like, why do I even care about this dude? Like, it's Custer, so you're supposed to care or whatever. He's an American, big American, historical American figure, but he's just such a dick in the beginning of this movie that I'm like, just slap him. Why is he even allowed? But I mean, I guess maybe Custer was a big dick and that was the point. I don't know. Even Errol Flynn's very charmingness was unable to really make me not think I hate this guy. That said, Olivia, on the other hand, every time she's on the screen, I'm like, oh, my girl, because she's brilliant and such an amazing screen presence, and you love her no matter what. And so if the whole movie had been her and Hattie McDaniel, I probably would have had a much better time because they're both so brilliant. So I watched this on TCM. It's still on Watch TCM. You can watch it till next Friday, I think. It's also on DVD from Warner Brothers, so you can probably rent it any number of places. It's probably on Amazon. Definitely, if you like Errol Flynn, Olivia de Havilland, Olivia, any of that stuff, you will enjoy this film. It's on the list of the 100 greatest Westerns of all time, so if you're into Westerns, it's one you should probably get to. Just like I said, remember that it's not very true to real history, and just remember that. So this is 1941's They Died with Their Boots On, starring Errol, Flynn, and Olivia de Havilland, my 100th Sunday morning Western.